After 2 years, some fishermen have started to go back to the Recto Bank in the west.
The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The fishermen crew of Jemver 1 has started to return to Recto Bank 2 years after their boat was sunk by a Chinese ship. Jenny Dongon with the rest of the story.
After 2 years, some fishermen have started to go back to the Recto Bank in the West Philippine Sea to fish. Among them are crew members of the Jemver 1 fishing vessel, which was struck by a Chinese ship in 2019. Traveling and fishing in the area took around 12 days, but they have no choice but to fish from the rich fishing ground to sustain their livelihood when they came back to shore. They were able to catch 4 tons of fish and anecdotes about evading many Chinese fishing vessels around the Recto Bank. The fishermen admitted they feared for their safety every time they went fishing. In order to prevent any further incidents of skirmishes in the area, Gemver 1 crewmates would immediately vacate the fishing grounds once they notice Chinese vessels approaching their ship.
Natakot na rin po, yung nakabahan dahil kasi andun pa po yung mga China. Yung pagbalik namin doon, lalong dumami po yung mga China doon. Mas matindi ngayon, ang dami ngayon. Parang andyan sa may, malapit na sa may Palawan ang iba eh. Kinabantay lang po namin sila kung saan sila magtakbo. Pagka alam namin palapit sa amin, nag-iwas na rin po kami. Pagka lumalapit, alis na lang kami. Kasi hindi namin kaya, malaki sila eh.
Other fishermen in San Jose Occidental, Mindoro chose to fish in waters nearest to the shore. The catch may not be as plenty compared to Recto Bank, but at least their safety is guaranteed. They say they have no choice but to avoid Chinese vessels claiming what should be their territory. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
Now, here are other stories from around the world. Canada has reported a second case of a rare blood clotting in a patient who received the AstraZeneca vaccine. Canada's health ministry said that the person who experienced the very rare effect has been treated and is currently recovering. Now, based on the evidence available, Canada still maintains that AstraZeneca's benefits outweigh the risk and will continue to recommend the use of the shot. A separate advisory council has earlier recommended a suspension in the use of AstraZeneca for Canadians under 55 years old. The panel is now reviewing the advice. In Venezuela, opposition leader Juan Guaido led protesters through the streets of the capital, demanding the government to procure more COVID-19 vaccines. Reuters reports that Venezuela has acquired around 800,000 jabs of both Russia's Sputnik V and China's Sinopharm, but so far these have been administered to government officials, health workers, teachers, and some senior citizens. COVAX had offered to sell doses of AstraZeneca vaccine, but was blocked by Venezuelan government due to blood clot reports. Venezuela has logged over 178,000 COVID-19 cases and more than 1,800 deaths.
Estamos conscientes de que también enfrentamos a otro enemigo invisible, que es el miedo, que es la parálisis. Por el contrario, estamos hoy exigiendo juntos con las medidas que podemos de bioseguridad. Y digo que podemos porque siempre va a existir un riesgo. El riesgo hoy en Venezuela es de morir de hambre, es morir por el hampa, es buscar otras fronteras. Por eso estamos hoy aquí juntos en Venezuela, movilizados exigiendo salvar vidas.
Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga says he is committed to move forward with the Summer Olympic Games in Tokyo. This comes after the Japanese public expressed concerns as the country faces its fourth wave of COVID-19 infections, while only about 1% of its population has been vaccinated. The Summer Olympics is scheduled to start on July 23 after getting delayed by the pandemic for a year. And BTS hit song Dynamite has broken 2 more world records. Dynamite now holds the record for most weeks on Billboard's US Hot 100 by a K-pop track after spending 32 consecutive weeks in the top 100. The song has remained in the top 50 since #1 debut on September 2020 until April 13. Dynamite also broke the record for most weeks at the #1 on Billboard's digital song sales chart after spending 18 weeks at the top spot. Dynamite has now been knocked off the #1 spot of the digital songs chart only to be replaced by Film Out, another BTS song. Guess it's safe to say that the 7-man boy band and their millions of army life is indeed sweet as honey.
Let's go! Cause I'm in the stars tonight. So we bring the fire, set the night light. Hey! Shining through the city with a little fucking soul. Light it up like dynamite. Whoa.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 2 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.